We're joined by Paul Coring in Washington to talk about the three themes of Obama's State of the Union address, starting with the domestic agenda.
It was a largely domestic speech, more so than you would expect out of a president heading into a second term. He talked about early childhood education, about immigration, about raising the minimum wage, about fixing America's infrastructure.
And what about climate change? What did he have to say on that?
Interesting, very strong on climate change, and the kind of thing that if you're a Canadian environmentalist would gladden your heart, and if you're a part of the Canadian oil industry or the Canadian government trying to get the Keystone pipeline approved, not so good. The President said we had to take climate change seriously. He said if he couldn't get congressional approval on things, on sweeping measures to promote clean energy, he'd act on his own by executive order. That's the kind of thing that might signal a negative decision on Keystone.
And foreign policy?
Not so much. The usual hope for peace and want to spread American values, but he's a president who wants to end the wars. He announced the bringing home of another 30,000 American troops from Afghanistan. Less on foreign policy than you might expect out of a second-term president.
And finally, just to circle back, Paul, I'd like to ask about gun control. There was a lot of anticipation over what Obama would say. You mentioned that he was very heavy on the domestic side of things. What did he say about gun control?
He certainly has got an ambitious set of gun control measures, but the chances of them getting through the Congress, particularly the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, are really slim. There'll be a few things that he can do by executive order, but sweeping gun control, for all the president's talk, likely isn't going to happen.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Paul.
Thank you.